Oh, hello. Let's see. Oh, hello, everybody. Hang on one second. There we go. And popping out my chat. So there's a chance I can actually see it. And minimizing that. Throwing it over there in the corner and grabbing this down. There we go. Hi, everybody. Hi, Crystal. It is so nice to see you. Susie. Oh, hello, hello. It is so good to see you, Susie. Oh, my goodness. It has been a while, my dear. I am delighted to see you back. And how is everybody? It's Sunday. If I sound a little weird, it's because I have had a heck of a week, and I'll tell you about it. But how is everyone? I am a little discombobulated today. I'll tell you, my week started out with my neighbor across the street passing away, and he left his wife, who is very, very ill, all alone. And so the whole neighborhood is a little worried about her. Somebody put a cooler of food outside her door because there's no answer, even though we know she's there. And the door is of course, locked. And so we're hoping that the nursing staff will take it inside today. But then, on my own personal tragedies, I ran out of tea the day after I ran out of coffee, which is okay because the day I ran out of tea, my coffee maker bit the dust. So I am operating on 3 days with no coffee. Trust me, I am not doing well with that. Hello, Corolla. Um, I am so glad that you are back making videos, Susie. And don't worry about the coloring. We just enjoy your company so much. I know, Crystal. But, oh, okay. All right. I guess they're having weather in England, and Gary is got an on and off again connection. So, Gary, thank you so much for being here. If we lose you, I'll know where you went. Hi, Sue. Hi, everybody. It is so good to see you. And, oh, Mickey, I was late coming on, honey. No worries. No worries at all. Uh, and I was just telling everybody I've been out of coffee for 3 days now. So it's like, and my coffee maker is broken. And they're going to turn my power off, but we're not even going to talk about that because that's a worry that I just can't deal with right now. Just can't do it. So I know it is so good to see Susie. And I am just absolutely delighted. So, yeah, no coffee. Yeah. No, my heart will not stop over no coffee. I promise. Oh boy. But it is. I will tell you that the headache is real. You know, they say that when you are addicted to caffeine and you're denied it, how you get a headache. Yeah, that's true. Anyway, that is not what I'm about today. I am about not worrying about all that stuff. Today, I am about coloring. And I am going to color in this book because I have not colored in Twilight Garden. So I am still working on my Color Your Horde goal for this year. That is it. Who was it? Was it Labelia? Was it Honor? Who was it that started Color Your Horde? I don't remember. I guess I did actually color one thing in this book. I started that, but that was more of a test of the paper. Happy Sunday, Elizabeth. Sorry, I don't mean to shout at everybody. Let's see. Yeah, I had one picked out. Now I don't remember which one it was. Was it this one? Might have been that one. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Sorry about that. I needed to try and cough. Hang on 1 second. I need to hit my inhaler. Hang on. Sorry, everybody. I don't mean to be such a mess today. So I thought that we would do this one, the little box. And, oh, that's so much better. Okay. Pull these babies down. And so what kind of a week has everybody else had? Tell me that y'all had a good, happy Valentine's Day. Oh, Susie, I think you just said it was terrible. You guys are, because Susie's in Scotland, I believe, and Gary, you're in the north of England. Is that right? Hi, Diana. Good to see you, my dear. Oh, thunder, windy, lightning. Wow. It is just so good to see you, Susie. I was like, at Susie's cottage, there's only one person that could be. Oh, and a quiet Valentine's Day. Yeah, hello, Mama Megs. Nice to see you, my dear. And for those who don't know, both Mickey Sunshine and Art Therapy with Mama Megs are wonderful channels that you can go check out. And there are lots of folks who have channels, obviously. If you ever want to check that out and learn about the people, just hit those little 3 dots at the end of their name, and it'll take you to their channel, and you can tell if they have a channel or not. Been sick for 3 days because my picked up used ick, used tissue at school to throw it away and touched its eye. Oh no. I am going to guess that that was your son that did that. Because somebody picked up a used tissue at school. Oh, that is how it happens. It really is. And this is why people think I'm so funny. But, whenever I go in the grocery store, I choose my particular Walmart because they always have those, the bleach cloths that you can use to wipe handles and stuff like that off. I always grab one of those when I grab a cart, and kind of wipe off my cart handle. Okay. All right. I was going to ask you, Megs, because I know you had said it, and but I hadn't seen anything. So, oh, Sue, I'm not. Oh, Crystal, sorry about the sickness. Sorry, never mind. Christine, not everything is about you. Oh my goodness. I have to tell you that I have enjoyed the last couple days though, because my PBS station broadcast uh, hello, broadcast a Saturday night movie. And it's always one of the classics. And this week it was Guess Who's Coming to Dinner with Spencer Tracy and Katharine Hepburn and Sidney Poitier. And I don't remember the other girl, the girl's name, but one of my favorite movies. It was a thinking movie, and I love thinking movies. So, and the other thing I did do, ooh, look, I colored this. And there's a video coming up on this, but you can see it right now. And yeah, it is one of my, and it's actually replaying within my sight right now. And it's hard for me to not get distracted by it. So I have to not look at the TV. But I just absolutely love the fact that, in the 1960s, actually early, they took that theme on. And the theme, of course, is the uphill battle that a couple would fight who marries of mixed race, and whether or not the parents have a right to object. And I just love all of the conclusions that Spencer Tracy, who is steadfastly against the marriage, comes to in the end when he realizes that, yes, it will be hard, but times are changing. Now, cut to, what is it, 2020? And we are fighting the same battle to a lesser degree, but we're still fighting it. And Sidney Poitier says, we're waiting for you guys to die off, all you old prejudiced people to die off, and yet we still have it. So what is the deal with that? Never mind. That's social commentary, and it's the only social commentary I will make. You want to know why I have to voice over my videos sometimes? Because I might tell you what I really think. Oh, anyway. Yeah, now I have to shut up and get over another awkward moment. Oh, by the way, if you ever want to know how to fix a page that falls out of your book, I finally had turned my Derwent Inktense page so many times that it fell out of the book. So I just taped it in. I just used packing tape and taped it in to the book, so now it can't ever fall out. Let's see, Inktense. That's the one I want. What do I want? We want to do the fox, but I need to do his base coat first. So I'm thinking his base coat should be mustard, and so that's what I'm going to do. Hello, Jill. Good to see you. And yeah, I this is the new drawing, by the way. This one is in the Etsy shop, and thank you, Megs. The second time around also, oh good, okay, 1961. I love all of the old classic movies. And I do have to say that the reason why I love them is because they assume that the listener or the watcher is A, informed, and B, smart. And, so they don't have to dumb everything down like they do in today's movies. Hi, Nika. How are you, my dear? And wow, the gang is all pouring in the door. That's wonderful. So, is everybody enjoying this? What is it? What is it called? Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering what I'm drinking, that is everything but the coffee. And what I'm doing is I'm fooling my brain. So that's the cream and the sugar. And I'm fooling my brain, and it's cold and it's wet. So it's getting me through. That's it. That is it. I don't know what it's getting me through too, because there's really no goal or there's no end in sight. I can neither afford a coffee maker nor coffee, so but it is helping to fool my brain. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to lay down a little bit of a base coat of color. And I'm trying to pull up the camera controls so I can zoom down just a little bit. I want to be able to keep the picture. Whoops. That's because the cord is tied to the light stand. There we go. What's that? Did I make you that dizzy? Oh, Diana. It's just I've had some lovely sales in my Etsy shop this week, or last week, but they have been things that uh, that that I have to actually pay for the manufacture of. So the net hasn't been very much. But no. Anybody who wants to hit up my PayPal tip jar for the coffee is absolutely welcome. But I do not ask that of you. I am responsible for my own darn self, and I got myself into this mess, and I'll find a way out. There's always another day. But y'all know that have you ever seen me having a 50% off sale in my Etsy store, you'll know. I mean, that's code for it's the difference between it's the difference between being here and not being here, as far as is the power imminently going to be shut off. And I'm not having a 50% off sale just yet, but it's getting pretty close. As you wait for it, because remember that all book sales and things like that are, yes, again, Sue, yes. So if I ever am not here, that's probably why. And just know that I'm fighting to get back. I like that. All right, so I still need, this is a base coat, Christine. Hello, it's a base coat. So color the whole darn guy. Base coat. Because we are going to be, even his little eye,
This is just very, very lightly. I'm just laying down this base coat of sort of mustardy gold. Aw, Mickey, thank you. That's very sweet. That's very sweet. That will help. Just so you guys know how that works, immediate help. I mean, and you hate to say things like this, but immediate help is always best delivered through PayPal, because it's 45 days until that money shows up to anybody, and even then, it's only after you have hit $100 in your AdSense account. Today, right this very second, after because you guys were so generous in December with Christmas super chats and things like that, which was so kind. And that money showed up late January, but there haven't been any since, and so my current AdSense account sits at about $40. So it'll be until it hits 100 before I actually get it, and even then it's 30 days later. So if you have a choice for artists, and I mean, this isn't just me, any artist, and this is just so you guys know, it's always best to use their PayPal option if you want them to have it right away. If you want them to, I mean, and obviously there are people that are, that don't count on any income from YouTube to get by. And I just don't happen to be one of those people. But I have, whatever. Stop, Christine. Shut up. I made it through all, 2 years ago without gas for the furnace. So I will make it through this too. Just a temporary problem. All tied up with a nasty depression and not working as hard as I should to sell the art that I make. This is real life. Christine, shut up. Okay. I start to think I'm crazy, you guys. I'm not crazy, I promise. All right, so I mean, right now it's looking a little, like looking a little gold, a little yellow, but he'll look better. So we'll start out with that color, and then we'll just add some darker colors. In the meantime, let's add a nice green to, I want to get these dark colors in so that I can stop worrying about the fact that I just colored those over with yellow. And thank you, by the way, Mickey, thank you very, very much for that, because that will actually buy a can of coffee. Yay! All right, so this is felt green, and I just am going to lay down a little bit on some of these leaves. We can always darken them up later, but I just want to get the ones that are on the box. So so that I can stop sort of worrying about the idea that they're yellow. and that when I do them, I'm going to mess up the red of the fox, or the orange of the fox. Terracotta, is that what he is? The one thing about any situation in life, everybody, is that it too will pass. It is always, it's always temporary. It isn't the end of everything. I really sort of think about my neighbor across the street. That poor thing. Stage 4 lung cancer, underwent surgery, everything else, seems to be doing, she was getting around under her own power. She has to have oxygen and stuff like that. But come to find out from another neighbor that she's actually blind. She's actually gone blind. So when I think about the little troubles that I have in my life, things could really be worse. So it is all about perspective. It really is all about perspective. Hello, Gary. Oh, I did say that already. Hello, Barbara. And hello to anybody who has come in. Hi, Nikki in Niagara. And wow, that is lovely to see everybody. Okay, so I got that in. Now let's add some. We need to pick a red for the fox or an orange for the fox. And I almost want to come over to the baked earth and the saddle brown. So I think that my next color for my fox is going to be the baked earth, because I can always dull in, the brightness of this down with saddle brown. Yeah, Barbara. Yeah, it really is. It really is. All you want to do is sleep. And when you don't sleep, you cry. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. And it's, everybody experiences, people who experience depression experience it differently. To me, it manifests in just the inability to even try, So it is a monumental effort to just even try. But you do it because the alternative is to give up. And I can honestly say that I have never experienced depression that says the world would be better off without me. That is not ever the kind of, depression that I've had. Mine has always been a sort of a result of a disappointment of some kind. And in today's world, there are many things to be disappointed about, especially if you are like me and I am somewhat socially progressive. I'm not liberal, so to speak, but I'm not a stick in the mud either. I don't believe in things like free college and stuff like that. I think that you should have to earn your way, but I also think that kids should be wanting to learn. I mean, what everybody is going on and on and on about cost of this and the cost of that. What about the kids that want to go? And they would go regardless. They go regardless of the cost. And yes, they have student loans, and yes, they do that, but they go regardless of the cost. They don't sit around and whine about the cost. And And if they're really serious about getting an education, do you know what they get? They get a library card. It's like, don't whine that the schools aren't teaching your kids. Teach your kids how to learn. Teach your kids that it's important to learn. Don't blame those teachers. They're doing the best they can. Anyway, oh, Nika. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you very much. Uh, See, Mama Megs, you know exactly. There are things you just wait for. Like, like when you have to, like when somebody orders a bag from me, if they order it, a tote bag in my Etsy store, if they order it on a Thursday, I can't actually order it until next Tuesday because next Tuesday is when the mail or when the money for the bag shows up in my account so that I can pay for the bag. And yeah, so it's exactly that, Uh, okay, she probably had to go. Baby's very sleepy. She has got, by the way, Mama Megs has got the most beautiful family. She's got a son and a grandson that are quite near the same age, and she's got a very handsome boy serving his country with a beautiful baby of his own. And then she has a newborn. Well, not newborn anymore. He's, 9 months old. Twilight Garden, yes. I am coloring in Maria Trolls. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Elizabeth, for, was it Elizabeth that said Twilight Garden? Oh, that's Dad. Always saying this too shall pass. Yes. Sad. Oh. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Go with this. Stop it, Christine. I got all excited there. Now, of course, Inktense is activated with water. And I always approach it, in layers. All right. Actually, I think I'm going to have to go blow my nose real quickly. I'll be right back. Whew. Oh my goodness, it's so much better to be able when you're fighting to, when your sinuses are all clogged up and you're fighting to not cough. And the harder you fight, the worse it gets. What is Color Quest? Color Quest. I don't know. Your first. Huh. Oh, is that one of those, Nika, where you, it's like you're coloring a pattern type thing, and then okay, so it is. It's like a color by number. I saw those. I think I saw them over on Lisa's Coloring Corner. By the way, that's another great channel. If you like, Lisa likes to do simpler coloring, the kind of the everyday mandala coloring. And I think that is beautiful, wonderful, and relaxing. Anne has taken on some complex things over the last few days or few weeks. Okay. I'm just sort of fading out a little bit of the orange because I can keep going darker on the box in all the different spots, but plus I think doing Inktense in these books is just very, very relaxing. And the paper holds up beautifully to it. It really does. Maria Troll's publisher, which is the same one I think that I think it's Gibbs Smith, U.S., does a marvelous job with the paper, and I believe that it's Muse, M-U-S, or a must in the Dutch version, because I have the Dutch version of Drew Maurice, and it's got the same paper in it, so, and it really does hold up. It's got nothing behind it, and of course Inktense just doesn't bleed through at all. So whoops. Which is another reason why it's my favorite. Well, yeah, it's my favorite water medium. It's just basically it's ink in a stick, but it's permanent ink. So once it's down, it's not like watercolor. You can't move it around again. And you just brush it off on a, little, if you find yourself with too much. Okay. So that is another start. We're going to let that dry. Creative Haven, color by numbers. No. Color by numbers is just like, it's like, you know what? Why is it that everybody thinks that, that if you don't color with pencils, then you're not really a colorist? If you don't color, if you color digitally, you're not really a colorist. If you do this, that, or the other thing, it's just, it's all art. If you do color by numbers, that's great. It's still coloring. Exactly, a puzzle. I like that. All right, so actually, let me do something up here. Let's do pink peonies. Do we want pink peonies?
Carmine pink, is that? Hang on. I need the book. When in doubt, let's use the book. Well, hi, Crafting with Christy. Lovely to see you. And another channel right there. Okay, fuchsia and pink. No, definitely not the Carmine pink. All right. So let's see here. Let's go. All right, so we're going to go with fuchsia. And I'm going to go very, very lightly. And you can do that. Just think like your, very much like your pencils. You know, you just use the side, hold it way back. And you can put down just a little bit of color up near the tops where it would be getting the light. So I had a thought the other night that if you took and you sharpened all of your, hi Shara, good to see you, and hi Connie, nice to see you as well. So if you took sharpened all your Inktense and put them, I have heard they even make a special grinder for it, but I imagine that you could just do it in a dish. Take all the wood parts out and kind of grind the whole thing up into dust. Since this is a base coat, I'm just going to do that. And then you can add some darker. Down at the bottom. And I wonder if it would act like brush-o powder. Might be an experiment worth doing if I could bring myself to sharpen my Inktense. I kind of already know how this is going to turn out, so Hi, Anne. Hello, I was just talking about you. Were your ears burning? Oh, my headache is starting to go away. Yay. Okay. So let's see if that will work. So I'm going to start with the lightest up here at the top. Oh, and for everybody that wasn't here when I showed it, I got a lot of comments in my coloring group on Facebook wondering how you would color that new drawing that I made that's so inky. So I did it with CLAart markers last night or a couple days ago. And I made a video on it, but this is the way that it took. It is in my Etsy shop, and I've got a how-to do it video coming up that'll post a couple days ago or a couple days from now. Sorry, it'll post tomorrow.
But I had have to do a voiceover on it because I once again I was watching something and I probably said some stuff on the video that was that half my buyers would say, well, if that's the way you feel about my particular candidate, then and you don't ever want to do that. Most artists are very careful never to take a political stand. Because no matter what your stand is, you're going to alienate the other side, the other half of your customers. So best not to have an opinion. Oh, yay! Yeah, exactly. It's see, Susie, see how very much everybody missed you. Hi, Kathy Nichols. Um, and okay. All right, Anne. Hope all's well. And hi, Shara. By the way, did I say hi? And I love my brush pens. By the way, I have been coloring. What did I color? I colored. I tried to practice with them just the other day, and it was, I was just not having a good day of it. And it was. I know it was the day that the coffee maker stopped working. Because I was like, I will tell you that it didn't work for 2 days before I ran out of coffee, and so. But you can still use at least all the mechanisms. You just have to hand pour the water. So I just put a pot of water to boiling on the stove, and then I just sort of spooned it in a cup at a time to make a pot of coffee, and then I stretched it. I stretched that coffee out for a couple days. And now I will add a darker color. You see how that dried two-tone, or that's going two-tone? So that's very cool. All right, now we can go back to our box and we can add a little bit more of a darker color. So I'm thinking the saddle brown to sort of step it, although the tan would be a good one. It would be a very good one. So let's go with the tan. That's this one. And just go the darker areas. So coming around is where it's dark there. Remember, your pigment is going to spread, so it's okay if you want to put it on the edge. And down around like that. Down around his face. I'm using fairly firm pressure. And it just goes right over the, the baked earth color. And you can always add more baked earth to restore the red or sort of the orange of your fox. add some more over here. This would be away from the light. And up in here. This side of his nose to be very dark, since the light would be coming from up here. That lowest side would be dark. So I love my Inktense. Oh my goodness. I am telling you what, they are just magical. They're like my reward for learning to use other mediums. Getting to go back to my Inktense are like my reward. Okay. Thank you, Anne. I hope your dad's doing well. I hope you had a good Valentine's Day. Did you put on your party hat and call your guy? Oh yeah, and that was the other thing is that Valentine's Day week is always kind of sucky for me. I don't know. I met my husband, my last husband, I should say. I met my last husband on a Valentine's Day, and we broke up 9 years later on a Valentine's Day. So I say last because I'm never doing that again. Okay. All right, he's coming along. He's coming along. He's still going to need to be darkened up in some spots with some darker browns, but he's getting there. I'm just going to turn this just so I can get this. So I'm just adding these colors in layers so that I don't lose where I want the lightness to be. He's coming along. Okay, now let's find a little, I want to say, color do you think these should be? If these are pink, and these are going to be pink, or well, those can be, because those are bleeding hearts. So, let's see what color bleeding hearts should be. No, we didn't have the flu. We had the crude. What I had, which my son gave to me, glad it wasn't the flu. You and me both. I got married and divorced. Yeah, 3 strikes and I'm out too. That was, yeah, he was, well, he was technically I only actually married two of them. He and I were together for the longest, but we never did get, the license and get married. And that ultimately, that is what broke us up, is that, I'm like, hello. I finally got that phrase of, there was a phrase in one of the movies. I don't remember what it was. And I don't remember which movie it was, but I remember the phrase. She says, but I want you, they were both photojournalists. She says, but I want you legally obligated to be there. That was, that was the crux of it. I want to say it was Sharon Stone that says it. And I don't remember the name of the movie, but yeah. But that didn't from buying a house together and setting up an entire life. Okay, so those are bleeding hearts. I got to go with crimson for bleeding hearts. Crimson looks like a good shade. So let me find it. I want to know you're legally obligated to be there. I want to say that yeah, it might have been it. Up close and personal. That might have been it. Judgmental. I love that. Up close and personal. Judgmental. What a great name. Hopefully you're not. Michelle Pfeiffer. That's it. That's it. And that was the name of the movie, Up Close and Personal. I don't remember, but didn't I want to say it was James Woods? No. Who was it that played the opposite role? This is Copy. Thank you very much, my dear. And welcome, welcome. Thank you for that super chat. That is so kind of you. Oh gosh, I don't remember. It might, you know what? It probably was. I mean, he ends up getting killed in the end, doesn't he? Are they both like TV? They're one of them. Yeah. Anyway, I know. Thank you, thank you for telling me. But yes, that is probably exactly it. So I'm going to, and actually, I think bleeding hearts are probably more pink than this, but oh well. Let's see how they turn out looking. You guys, you are so kind. Thank you so very much. Let's see. So the weather here has been cold. We got, well, actually last week was pretty nice until like just the last couple days. We've had this Arctic blast, and I know you guys have had it in wherever you are. Oh well. Giving you something to watch while you cook. Oh, good. Are you cooking something wonderful for dinner? As long as you're not like, cooking up a batch of methamphetamine, we got no problems. If you do that, then tell me what your address is so I can send the cops. Judgmental. I love that on every level. Oh my goodness. What a great name. So how many groups do you get tossed out of like right from the gate as being a troll? Let's see. I guess maybe before I do them all, I should find out how this works. It's 61 here now in Savannah, and you have the cat enclosure open. It's raining, but the breeze feels good. I'll bet it does. Hello, Heather. Lovely to see you. And hello to anyone that I might have missed coming in. Diana, I'm not at all shocked that you say that. They showed this Arctic blast coming in, and it's like the edge of it just reaches us, and then it like goes away. So hopefully North Carolina got spared any, any cold weather, and excuse me, and hopefully Georgia did too. It just looked like this blanket that just laid over the most of the north half of the United States. Oh, that's so funny. And that it held burr. It didn't know what the word was. Okay, Gary. Thank you so much, honey, for being here. It's perfectly fine. I don't know where Melissa is today, but I'll watch. I'll watch. And, I play on my mental health, but it's most often taken the other way. I got it. And it is, but it's funny. It's a good conversation starter. Judgmental. It is a very good conversation starter. A good icebreaker. So, does anybody watch the lineup on PBS but me? The Pole Darks and the Masterpiece Mysteries and all of that. The ones this year are pretty good. I'm really enjoying this Vienna Blood, which is it's based upon the Lieberman papers, and he was a psychiatrist that helped the police at the I don't know if it's the turn of the century. Has to be the turn of the century. Actually, it's probably shortly before World War I. Apparently, it was bad here in the UK during the night, but I was really tired, so I slept right through it. Okay, so you did have a sorry, I'm catching up on chat. Your niece got accepted to SCAD. SCAD, South Carolina Art something. South Carolina Academy of Delightfulness. Wonder what SCAD is. Lots of bad flooding in South UK. Else. Oh, wow. Well, that's not good. Congratulations to your niece, Elizabeth, by the way. And oh yeah, art and design. Okay, good. I should have known that, right? And I feel so much better being here talking to you guys. I really do. I should just pop on live sometimes when I'm feeling blue or, just sort of trying to get through it. All right, so yeah, those will work. That will work. The little bleeding hearts. I think red is perfectly fine. Okay, I think we're dry enough to put down, another layer of color. And on our box. But we're gonna darken up this is the saddle brown. I'm gonna do this in 2 folds. We are going to, or actually 3 folds. So this is the baked earth. And I am still going to come over the back of our little guy here. Only this time I'm making it fairly dark. And then I'm going to take the mustard, which is the gold. Excuse me. I'm going to come over that. Grab that gold again. And go back to my baked earth. So I'm actually even accentuating that that sort of highlight there. And I want the richness of this in his fur. So I'm even bringing it down here. Only I'm lightening the pressure. Excuse me. And now I'm just adding a little bit, just sort of dulling down the yellow as it's coming off of there. And now I've got the saddle brown. So I am going to come in once again with this darker shadow up near the top, lightening it up around this curve. So Inktense are quick, but that doesn't mean that you can't take your time and make it the best that you could make it if that is your goal. If your goal is to straight color, oh, excuse me. Then that is good too. Okay. Looking a little bit good. Not perfect yet, but okay. Now it's a little more red. Keeping it light on that side. Going darker on this side away from the light.
And I can actually now come up this edge of his ear, adding just a little bit of the mustard to keep it light. And going back to our baked earth for his ear. So I'm sort of trying to get the sunlight to, play a little pattern on his head. The sunlight playing a little pattern. I like that. That's an interesting idea. Okay, now go back to the saddle brown, which is that darker, and just being fairly light with it. His little brow. And where his little ear or little face is coming up over his tail. I'm going to deepen that shadow. Did I already do this part? I did that part, didn't I? Okay. Hello. Let's see if I forget. Oh my goodness. Thank you for that lovely ratio of viewers to thumbs up. That's terrific. So I love the blend. And it just, you don't have to squeeze the brush. At least with this one, I don't. Although I could. I'm going to dab it off to make sure that it is, I don't want it to be super wet. Because that's not good for the paper. But this paper holds up so well to this light, amount of water. Now, technically, his eye on this side is too light. So if I just brush over it just like that, it'll make it a little bit darker, but not so dark because I went about it very quickly. Okay.
So he's got one sort of a little shaded. Sorry. Oh, okay. Now I can actually look at the chat. Must go run an errand. I quite enjoy live streams. Thank you very much for streaming. Also, very pretty coloring. Well, thank you very much, Judgmental, and we'll see you next time. And thank you to all the people. Oh, hi, Melinda. There she is. Ex-husband coming over. Certainly will be bringing Mexican bread. Ooh, yum. And other yummies that will help you feel better. Oh, no. Shara, are you sick too? Oh, dear. It seems to be going around, doesn't it? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Caroline. That is kind of you to say. Anything that I learned, I literally, I have learned from watching all of you guys. Pelican in your front yard. Well, he was a bird of a different style. I love pelicans. They're so, yeah. Have you ever, for those of us that have seen pelicans on the beach, they really do. They fly in this sort of perfect lineup, just right over the tip of the water. It is, or where the waves are coming up. It is so gorgeous. And oh, thank you, Connie. Okay, I should continue to go on. All right. I am not real happy that those turned out. I'm thinking that Shiraz was the better choice, which is more of a wine color. I like the Shiraz, but this desperately does need to be sharpened a little bit. And I'm going to use my M&R sharpener for it, because I tried my Prisma and did not like it. Ooh. I want you to know that it's physically painful for me to sharpen my Inktense. I love them so it feels so very much like throwing it away. All right, let's try a couple of these and see if that makes me like them any better. It could just be that I don't particularly care for red flowers. Oh, that's better. Okay. That's better. Okay. And welcome, Melinda. I know it has been very, very cold up there. You have had some seriously Arctic temperatures to deal with, my dear. I hope that it is that everything is all right. Oh, bring me some. Bring me some, please. Now I am gonna whine. My coffee maker is broken, and I'm out of coffee, and I'm out of tea. And I'm having a moment of feel sorry for me. What kind of coffee maker? My Mr. Coffee. It's probably the fourth Mr. Coffee that has failed on me in 20 years. Oh yeah, Anne. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, don't worry. There's even worse stuff coming down the pike. So, And you sharpen them. Okay, all right. Well, so you can relate, Heather, though, that it does. It's like physical pain to sharpen my pencils. I love them so much. Jill wants these to be purple. I am willing to go along with purple, but I want them to be deep violet and mauve. So, or actually, no, deep violet and fuchsia. So, deep violet, 760. Probably the one I had in my hand, isn't it? No, that's mine. Deep purple, deep violet. Okay, so deep violet and fuchsia already out. So we're going to go deep violet here around the edges. We're going to see how this works. Deep violet around the edges. Because, you know, for me, everything has to be at least two colors. So I don't know anything. I don't color anything the easy way where it's just one color. So if for those people that do want to know, I do have a keep the lights and coffee bowl fund through PayPal. So there is a PayPal tip jar somewhere in the description. And but it's been a long, long time since anybody hit that up. except I think today. I think a couple of people have sent me coffee money today, which is yay. So I may be able to go buy some coffee later tonight. Okay. That is the hard way. On the one hand, you never, ever want to discourage anybody from super chats because super chats are wonderful. But most people don't realize that until those super chats get to $100, the channel owner doesn't even get them. So there's lots of videos about that and people complaining about it. But you know, it's YouTube policy, and you realize it going in. You know, when you monetize your channel, it tells you right there. That looks really good, Jill. These were good color choices for these flowers. And see how that fuchsia just adds that sort of glow in the center of each petal. I don't know if you can see that or not. But isn't it pretty? Oh, Shara, I drink the Walmart brand of French roast. So it's the least expensive. As long as it's a dark roast coffee for, you know, whatever, you know, Maxwell House French roast, Walmart French roast, Food Lion French roast, whatever the French roast is. I've never been picky about coffee as long as anybody who puts cream and sugar in their coffee is not picky about it. Otherwise, you wouldn't put the cream and sugar in. I drink it mostly for a habit, to wake up in the morning, and then just basically out of habit. So, oh my goodness, it's already 3:35. How does that happen? Okay. Now, are there two different kinds of flowers going on here? Maybe this one is blue. Maybe this one is... Maybe... Ooh. Okay, so that one is pink. Wait, let's think. Let's think for a second. Blue and... Can we make this like... No, let's not. Let's just make them all purple. Although, maybe some of them have a bit of blue. So, this, all right, I'm going to trust I'm going to trust Heather, because Heather would never tell me tales. So she says that she's had her Inktense that long and she's never sharpened them. And I know she uses hers a lot. I'm going to see, I just sharpened it. And I felt less pain that time, Heather. It just seems, fortunately, you only have to sharpen them about once a year. But they do eventually get to a point where you need to sharpen them. And since I've had mine for 2 years, it's probably about time. All right, now the fuchsia. And just thinking, judgmental would be a great name for a great screen name for a psychiatrist. No, they surely don't. Yes, they are definitely water-based, but what makes them different is that the pigment, once it's dry, as long as it's been fully activated with water, is permanent, which is usually not true of water-based markers. Usually with water-based, you can, fade it out some. But although generally permanent markers are different, it's some sort of difference in the pigment. Oh, I like that. I like it a lot. All right, now let's see if we can use a gold, maybe, or a yellow. How about these are the ones. These are the ones that so desperately need to be sharpened. The yellows, because I use these a lot. Ooh, it still hurts, but it's okay. So I'm just going to add a little tiny bits of yellow. I think what I'll end up doing with those is adding just a little touch of glitter. You know what I mean? Coffee and a Aww. Shara. Shara. You have got to be kidding me. Wait a second. Dunkin' Donuts. Ooh, Dunkin' Donuts. Coffee and a coffee maker. Oh my God. What have you done? Shara. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I got nothing. I got nothing but what wow. Really? Thank you. And oh my God. Oh. Sarah, what have you done? Is she not the most amazing human being? You know, when I couldn't afford. No, it isn't. You have to. It isn't like I don't make any money, guys. I do make money with my art, but when you like, all of us know, it's like a snowball. If you get behind on something, you're suddenly, caught underneath the snowball. And that is what happens to artists a lot. It isn't that they don't make enough money, it's that they don't make it at the right times of year, or it doesn't come at the right moment, or whatever. And then the snowball starts to roll downhill. And that is actually what has happened. What has happened. Shara, you are becoming the Inktense queen. Uh, I'm happy to own that title. Actually, you know what, Kay? I'm not the queen, but I'm happy to die for the title. How about that? And speaking of, okay, here's something. It is everything. Are you kidding? It is. It doesn't need to be fancy. Let's put it this way. If I were going, it would be usually a Mr. Coffee because they're the least expensive, and it I if it has a timer, great. If it doesn't have a timer, not a worry. Because I would buy whichever brand or whichever one was the least expensive that would do the job, which is brew a pot of coffee. I am not, I'm not a fan of Keurig, and I don't, I'm not going to ever spend all that money on those little pod things and all of that. Because who can afford that? I drink coffee by the pot. We've been trying to roll uphill. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Heather. It is. It's like Sisyphus. Sisyphus trying to roll the ball uphill, and every time you encounter any kind of obstacle at all, it just tosses you right back down the hill. The ball just rolled over you. And that was the case with the car insurance, which, by the way, I let the car insurance go again. I did not have a choice on that. So that's already done, though. So you just do the best you can with what you got to work with, And so I've been doing extra advertising this week. I have, I've made a couple of more videos. I've just trying to out of, fight off the big ugly depression, and B, just keep my hopes up, which is some days easier than others. And then if I get to feeling sorry for myself, I look across the street at my little neighbor whose husband just dropped freaking dead. I mean, it just, this is Larry. This is the one that, we were all so, amazed last summer when his wife was in the hospital, and he spent, they've been married for 46 years. And he spent every single night with her there in the hospital, and was able to, bring her home. And we were all, watching her move under her own power. And then he goes and drops dead. And leaves her all alone over there. And yet, that nursing staff can go in and out because they apparently have keys, but if she won't answer the door, or maybe she can't answer the door, and she doesn't want to see anybody, so you can't force your way in. It's the only thing any of us can do, yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. He dropped dead on Monday. Last Monday. You know how there's always this picture that sort of sticks in your head? And the picture that stuck in my head was, I woke up because I heard these trucks outside. I couldn't figure out what was going on. So I woke up and looked out, and there's like 3 police cars and a fire truck. And as I'm watching, the paramedics came out, and they stopped by the side of their truck, and they sprayed the bottom of their shoes with something. And I don't know what that is, but that image is stuck in my head. And then they got in and drove away. And of course, it wasn't that long after that the coroner showed up. But hang on, guys, I gotta cough. Ooh. Sorry about that. Today, my cough, and I'm not sure why. It's been, it's been pretty good lately. We never know when our time is. That's why we try to live. Exactly. And be kind to all. Exactly. Oh, if it's a small coffee maker, I'll put it on my desk. It does. Shara, it does not matter if you, no, there's no such thing as screwed up. Shara, your generosity is too amazing. It really is. And whatever it is, it's more than I've got right now, and I will be absolutely thoroughly grateful for it. So, uh, so just don't worry about a thing. And yeah, okay. So we all right now we've shown all of those things. Let's show the uh, bleeding heart again, the new way. Because after all, one of the things that I want to do is demonstrate how these things work. All right, so starting with this guy right here. So this is the Shiraz. So the Shiraz, I'm going to start around the outside of this with this sort of dark red. This is a wine. And I am putting down a fairly heavy layer of that. And then maybe a little bit just in those lines. And then this is the crimson. Now this one does also need to be sharpened. Oh my goodness, it is 3:52. Okay. Ooh, I went a little too far with that. You should probably never sharpen them that sharp. And so I'm going to be very, very light with it so that it doesn't break. Because while it's wonderful to only lose the shavings, it would be terrible to lose the point. Right now, I'm going to go into this darkest shade, sort of work it in. Like that. Oh, how about that? That's a little better for a bleeding heart, yeah? Oh, Susie, have a good sleep. And I am so very, very glad to see you, my dear. And I am so very glad to have you back. And coloring will come. Take your time. You want to make sure that you're fully healed. And thank goodness that you were able to get that surgery and and get the rest of the stuff taken care of. So big, huge, gigantic hug, my dear, and sweet dreams. Oh, Libby. Hi, Libby. Okay, you just got home from the hospital. How is she doing? How is Jess today? Sorry, I'm I'm hoping Libby will talk. Hi, Pat, by the way. I don't think I even said hi to you. Oh, no. Oh, oh, Libby. I am very, very sorry. Thank you, Diane. And hi, Diane, by the way. He's coming along. He's needing a little extra work, but we're working on him, and or he's gonna need a little more work. I'm gonna make these purple, and the last thing I'm gonna do, since I have 4 minutes left, is I'm gonna make that. I want these to be blue. I'm gonna use the same principle that I used on the purple one, and I think I'm gonna use the peacock blue and the iris. So let me grab the peacock and the iris. There's the peacock, and there is the iris. Okay. So using that same outside dark and I will do a midweek video to finish this up and show you step by step the details. Oh. Shara, thank you so very much. We're just living in anticipation of this headache going away. My hope has been restored. Oh. Okay. Now, of course, you all do know that the best way to help any artist is to buy the art that they draw or the art that they make, whether it's, whatever floats your boat. I am working, by the way, on new bag designs and all of that for my Etsy shop, or for the tote bags and stuff like that. I'm thinking that Etsy might not be the best because I can't deliver the best price to you guys on Etsy for them, because I end up having to mark them up to cut the fee, to cover all of the additional fees and stuff like that. So I may have to use either Society6 or Redbubble and open a shop there and just link it. So, yeah, I don't, Mickey. And, I've actually been thinking about it. Up to now, I always wanted my sales to be a gauge of people's support. So I had avoided a Patreon account, but folks are starting to sway me the other way on that, so I might look into it. I've never really been able to wrap my head around the idea that, while I know I like to support other people's art, and the only way I have to do it is with, using whatever platform that I have. But, back in the day when I was, earning $60,000, $70,000 a year, I was buying a lot of art as well. So Anyway, all right, so there it is in blue. And as you can see, just using your Inktense with a lighter center like that, you really get beautiful shading all built in. Did you ever look into getting diamond paintings? I actually have two. I'm assuming, Elizabeth, that you are not talking to me. But I have two. One that excuse me, one that I recently did, and one that I'm working on now. All right, everybody. I do see that it is 4 o'clock. It is technically the time when I am supposed to be off the air to make room for others. And although I know that that is not a requirement, I consider it a nicety, and I'm happy to do it. So I do want to say a special prayer to, some special prayers if you can for Libby. And for her daughter Jess, who is suffering a health condition now that has been ongoing and is very difficult for the family. So pray for their strength and hopefully healing for Jess. And thank you to all of you who do super chats and stickers and hit up the PayPal tip jar and buy the work in my shop, and people like Anne and Shara and all of the others who do wonderful things and never want any credit for it. You guys just amaze me. So thank you very much for being my friends. Thank you for being here to join me this week and coloring with this. Definitely pick your Inktense up and color something pretty. And look for a midweek video. I'm almost done editing it. I am ahead of the game. So bye, everybody. Love you.